Brian, how are
Hey,
you?
I'm doing good. I love your hat. I
Dude,
love
a
it.
red tie? I mean, when's the last time you wore a tie?
I had a really I had this great Christmas tie and we got rid of it. I think Tracy thought like that's so ugly, we're getting rid of it. Couldn't find it.
I've thrown some of my husband's clothes away too, and it just happens. It's just, who
Yeah,
knows why that happens, right?
yes.
Uh,
Love the hat. Love the
Love
hat.
it. Well, I'm gonna say the big word. It's Christmas. It's coming, and we
Yes.
wanted to wrap up the year and jump on a call and share with everyone what's been the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
As we finish out 2022, it was definitely kind of a bipolar year, um, and
To say the
so
least. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So, I think what the most interesting thing is obviously rates have been high, but there's been a development in conforming loan limits again. Tell me about that.
Yes. Yes. So what's so cr- what's so incredible about this is previous jumbo rates or the maximum conventional mortgage for 11 years was 417,000. It never
Yeah,
moved. And now,
always.
oh my gosh, in 2021 and 2022 and now here going into 23, believe it or not, in 2023 the maximum conventional mortgage is 726 200. It moved up $79,000 from last year
Wow.
because home prices are going up
Hmm.
and the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac feel like that adjustment needs to be made. So if you're buying, you could buy a house, gosh, where's my numbers? At $748,000 house. If you're a first time home buyer, you could put 3% down,
Yeah, yeah.
which
So you
is
could buy a house
huge.
for $750,000 price ticket, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
minimum 3% down, and you'd be in a
yes,
conforming loan limit. So you're not being paying jumbo pricing
right.
because
Yes, and
that's
not only that, Amy, jumbo pricing, it's not only about the pricing, it's about the availability of jumbo loans. It's a
Mhm.
more restrictive pool. So each of these investors that we have contracts with, when I look at a conventional mortgage, I have 25 different investors, lenders that we shop the mortgage to. In the
Mhm.
jumbo world, there's about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And each of them has their own what we call overlays, their own requirements, or
Mhm.
most common things that they require. So a jumbo mortgage requires that you have 12 months of payments
Mhm.
in reserves. A
Yep.
conventional mortgage, you don't need that. So
Mhm.
the criteria is a little tighter on a jumbo mortgage, and so
Mhm.
this really opens up opportunities for those with less down payment, because most jumbo mortgages, unless you have 20% down, your rate's going to be really high.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
Wow. That's a significant number. That has really gone up.
now another piece that's really interesting, if you look at it, FHA mortgages. So
Mhm.
most people think of an FHA mortgage as for bad loans, which is not true at all. But
Mhm.
if you are a first-time home buyer and you want to buy a multifamily property, you could
Mhm.
buy a 2-unit, owner occupied, with 3.5% down, and the loan limit on that is 659. So it's a little less, but
Mhm.
also you could do a 4-unit owner occupied FHA mortgage, and the maximum mortgage on that is $990,000.
Hmm.
So sometimes I have people, first time home buyers that are thinking about buying a single family. On a
Yep.
conventional mortgage, if I bought a
Mhm.
2-unit, I've got to put
Mhm.
down 15%.
Yeah.
On an FHA, 3.5.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
big
Wow.
difference. And
Huge
that's
difference. Those are big numbers, right?
absolutely. So as prices have gone up significantly on homes, loan amounts have come up also, to help on qualifying and get more
Yep.
buyers into houses.
Definitely reflecting the market, right? Um,
Absolutely.
just just in the last few months now, since we've had some adjustments in our market, FHA and VA buyers, boy, those are some great programs, and they're back on the spotlight, and those buyers are winning right now
Yes. Yeah.
because they have a chance at bat. Thank God.
Oh my gosh, a year ago, a VA
Mhm,
borrower, I mean, I had to beg. In February, I had a client, past client of mine,
mhm.
he's a veteran,
Yep.
and he could go 0% down on a $650,000 purchase with no mortgage insurance. And a
Mhm.
year ago, you'd have to beg the listing agent even to consider it
Right.
because it's a VA loan.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with VA loans. It's an
No.
entitlement that they've earned. The
Yep.
rates are typically a little bit better.
Yep.
Great terms for the buyer.
Yep.
Fortunately, that agent said yes, and now we're seeing many more opportunities for buyers as the
Right.
market's kind of moved a little bit away from just entirely a seller's market.
Absolutely. We're still in not even a balanced market yet, even though it
No.
because we had such a strong sellers market for 4 years now that this feels less. It feels more like a buyer's market, but we're still not really there statistically. So,
No. No.
right? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Coming into December, our new listings are down compared to last year by about 16%.
Okay.
So comparing to December or November of last year. So we're still
Mhm,
comparing off kind of a high ranking year,
mhm,
but new, like freshy listings are down a good
mhm,
amount.
mhm.
But as a buyer, you're actually looking at about 13 to 14% more listings in this month right now than you were
Ooh,
last December.
ooh,
That's a
that's
lot.
encouraging. Yeah,
It is. And I
yeah,
remember onboarding some, clients around the holidays, and you're just like, you apologize, like, just don't look, let's not even look, don't get disgruntled because nothing's going to
yeah,
come.
yeah.
But this year, this season, buyers are able to not only just view and kick tires, but are actually finding properties
Ooh,
that make sense and getting them
yes,
under contract. So,
yes,
I'll take a little bit more opportunity for buyers to see homes.
yes, yes.
So it's
That's
never going to be the
encouraging.
days of showing 50 homes to a buyer. That pretty hard to do in this market. But we are
Yeah,
slowly coming back to that kind of environment where we can see a few and sleep on it, think on it,
mhm.
and progress forward with an offer. So
Absolutely. Now, in speaking in that, obviously, when middle of October rates jumped at one point to 7.375, which put the brakes on everything.
yep.
Applications were down. I just wanted to read a few statistics here as far as
Mhm.
weekly applications nationally are
Yep.
recorded. So just to kind of give you a sense, the first week of October, applications were down 2%. The following week, they were down 4.5%. The following week, down 1.7%. If I move from the first week of October to the first week of December, we've had the first couple weeks of November where we were at about 2.5% increase.
Mhm.
December, the first week, we were up about 3.2% for
Yeah.
applications. Other
Yeah.
than that, all other weeks we were down.
Yeah.
So I think the jump in rates, just kind of the shock that came with that,
Yep.
and folks are just trying to recalibrate. But as inflation is now coming down,
Yep.
mortgage rates are coming down. We
Yep.
expect that to continue. And before you know it, we're going to be in January and it's going to start getting crazy.
It'll start to be spring market again, right? That
Yes.
makes total sense because our both pending and closed sales for the end of November are down both 38%. So
Oh,
that
wow.
totally reflects that decline that you've had in applications.
Yes.
And if buyers are doing what they did last December, is they try to beat the spring market. They
Hmm.
wanted to beat it so they would be first out. I'm talking January 1, like out,
Yes. Yeah.
I think my first
Yes.
showing last year was literally on New Year's Day or the 2nd. It was right away.
Wow.
That's what buyers were doing. And if a buyer is smart this year, they'll do the same
Hmm.
because we've had the issue of sideline buyers. We had those people that disappeared, went away,
Yes.
priced out, whatever,
Hmm.
waiting, thinking, adjusting now to the rates.
Hmm.
It's only going to create a bigger snowball of buyers in the
Yes.
spring market.
Yeah.
Um, so if people's hope is to do this next year, starting early is always recommended.
Couple things that we have to be aware of is, and the media sometimes can really give you misinformation. Gosh, we watch Good Morning America and Rebecca
Mhm.
Jarvis, she's the finance expert. And every time the feds raise rates, she's talking about, well, your mortgage just got higher. And it's like, when they raise rates, they aren't raising mortgage rates, they're raising short-term rates. And actually rates have been coming down. It's like, stop talking,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
know?
Oh my
Um,
gosh, isn't that something?
but
Yeah.
what we have to keep in mind is as inflation comes down, rates are going to come down, and some people are like, well, maybe I should wait for that. I think the consensus is home values. Are you
Mhm.
expecting them to appreciate next year? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm expecting kind of a leveling, honestly. I think it'll
Hmm.
be pretty flat to this year, which is
Hmm.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
any home value post 2017 is amazing, right? So
Yes.
if you're selling your house in 2023 and you're kind of maybe it's kind of more feeling like a 2022 value
Hmm.
because it's flat, it's amazing
Hmm.
pricing. It's
Yes.
amazing pricing. The only people
Yes.
that are having a hard time are those that bought in the last year and need to flip it and move it, and that's just kind of not the reality, you know?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Showing
Yeah.
activity is really interesting to watch because that is, boots on ground, what's going on today in our market, which will then determine what is 60 to 90 days out.
Yes.
And across most of the price points, showing activity in the last 30 days has been down about 10%. Okay,
Hmm.
10%,
Hmm.
that's not too bad. But the most
Hmm.
interesting, Brian, to me is that the 800K plus
Yep.
price point is up 46% in Minnesota. And the
Wow.
million plus is up 12%. Our
Wow.
luxury market is kind of like this like flag that's going to get us through this. It's very interesting to me
Yeah.
because this was no kind of segment that did well in a different recession. That was a completely different recession too. But
No.
that's amazing that that is the biggest moving showing segment. So that's showing us that
Yep.
that's going to be sales in quarter one,
Hmm.
maybe quarter two.
Yeah. What do you get for 900,000? What do you see as an agent? You got a
Yeah.
$900,000 house. What are you going to get?
Well, usually something very beautiful in the suburbs. You're gonna have a very
Yeah.
turnkey, updated, modern home.
Hmm.
In an urban area, you're gonna have, a great walkable home close to lakes or close to all the fun social things with highly updated. Everything's been
Yeah.
touched, new
Yeah.
bathrooms, new kitchens, etc. So,
Yeah.
that $1 million price point gets you a great property.
Yeah.
It might not get you on the lake,
Uh-huh.
in Minnesota, our lakeshore is still incredibly expensive. It might not get you
Yeah.
there because, we're
Mhm.
selling lots for, close to that.
Yeah.
Or you could get, something that would really need a huge leveling or a huge improvement at that price, but it'd be pretty tight, really
Yeah.
tight. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
So I
just
just,
amazing, isn't it?
mhm,
Looking at what prices have done and where
yeah.
where you're at, it's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think looking at the statistics, it's always just I enjoy the data because that is what
Mhm.
fuels and helps our consumers make good choices. But to
Yeah.
see that leading indicator, of course, maybe that price point person isn't as concerned about interest rate, possibly,
Hmm.
and that has a lot
Hmm.
to do with it. But still,
Yeah.
to have that to be our biggest gain and our biggest segment in showings, and then later it's going to
Wow.
be closed sales is pretty amazing. So.
40%. That's incredible.
I know from that
Wow.
800 to a million. Wow,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it
Yes.
gets you a beautiful home though. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it sure does. Well, looking ahead to 2023, gosh, it
Yeah.
kind of reads like rates are, let's accept it. We're in the five sixes, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
Little bit of volatility. Last Friday, we were at
Mhm,
6%. Today, we're at six
mhm.
and a quarter. The
Yeah,
market is reacting and very, very volatile. You could have Jamie Dimons, the CEO of Chase, and a couple weeks ago, he said something and the market reacted negatively. And
sure.
the frustrating part is the market kind of knee jerks, then they kind of
Mhm.
think through it, and then it settles down and then things improve.
Yeah.
So to those buyers that are kind of watching rates closely, I know it's got to be frustrating, but the good news is inflation is coming down,
Mhm.
mortgage rates are coming down. I think that trend is going to continue, and I think as we get into the first and second quarters of the year, We're going to start talking about some 5% rates, which is
Mhm.
going to be really exciting. I think that's going to help a lot.
That's just a sweet spot. We all knew 7 was gonna shut some doors for a large
Yeah.
amount of people,
Yes.
but that 5 it's a great
Yeah.
rate. It's
It is a
awesome,
great rate. Yep. We're
right?
back to normal. Back to
Right.
normal.
The
Yeah.
the normal 3.0 or whatever we're
Yeah.
in keeps changing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. When are they
Oh,
going back to 3? Probably never, you know?
never. Good luck with that.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for gathering. It's good to see you here. I know I probably won't talk to you here till after New Year's, so thank you so much for the partnership. It means a lot. I
Thank
wish you
you.
and your family a happy holiday. And for those that
And
are
to you.
watching, Brian and I are partners. We would love to chat with you about your real estate needs if you're looking to buy or sell in 2023. Brian and I
Yeah.
would love a chance to chat with you and put this together and package it for you in the best, most effective way for you and your family. So
It's
have a very
never
Merry
too
Christmas.
early, right, Amy? It's never too early to start that conversation.
No, it takes a long time to get things, your ducks in a row. So the earlier the better.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. All right, Amy.
Well, Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for meeting up.
Merry Christmas. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye now.